Hello. So, it's time for week 6 of the Radical Residence Season 2. This week's tough. We're up against Banette Bandit, and I do forget the team name off the top of my head. So I do apologize. But their team is incredibly scary. They have Urshifu Single Strike, Zeraora, Mudsdale, who now gets access to Slack Off, Corviknight, Mega Lapras, who generally just gets a buff to all of its stats all around, and gets access to Liquid Voice once it does Mega Evolve, so it can use Liquid Voice Boom Burst, and instead of being Water Ice, it is Water Dragon. Roserade, Sylveon, Pyro, which I believe now gets access to Adaptability, Kecleon, Haunter, and Orbeetle. To my knowledge, none of these Pokemon get any changes. So, the team's really scary. It's very good defensively and offensively, and breaking it's not going to be easy. The one upside, though, is they only have one form of removal. Right? It's Corviknight Defog. If we can take out Corviknight, it's not that big. We can keep hazards up. Or, you know, bait the Corviknight in or whatever. But Urshifu is obviously a pain to deal with. I hate Urshifu. It's stupid and it's dumb. Zeraora is a bit of a pain. Especially because now it actually gets access to Hidden Power Ice, so it can actually hit, it can hit certain ground types, though I think it can already hit my Claydol, to be fair, so it's not too big of a deal. The big one was, I say this, because I am actually doing this whole thing post-commentary, is actually Roserade. I couldn't figure out a decent way around Roserade, because they actually gave Roserade an extra buff that I completely forgot about until just now. And that is Apple Acid. Apple Acid is Appleton's signature move, which is an 80 base power grass type move that drops special defense. So, think of it kind of like Thunderous Kick from Zapdos, from Galarian Zapdos. So, like, it makes it really hard to switch into. Not only that, with the power of Technician and Power, and it becomes very difficult to switch into. So, honestly, I was just kind of hoping they didn't bring it. So, because I did not have a good answer for it on my team. So, as for the team I ended up bringing, I decided to go offense. At this point, I'm 2-3. I've got to make offense and try and break this team, because that's the best way I can see myself doing it. So, Mega Aerodactyl. We're faster than Zeraora just in case. There's no reason for them to be max speed Zeraora, but I can't take that risk. Dual Wing Beat, Earthquake, Stone, and U-Turn, the same moveset we've been running pretty much the entire time, because honestly, like, even against their team is pretty good. The only real thing is there's a couple things that are annoying for it. Obviously, the Mudsdale's annoying, as well as the Corviknight, but, like, everything else just dies, so it's pretty good in that regard. Life Orb, Offensive Arcanine. This is going to hopefully be the main wall breaker against quite a few things. Notably, that Corviknight. Gonna be really nice for that. Play Rough is really nice because it actually means we can hit the Lapras super effectively as well, which is really, really cool. E-Speed is great for picking things off. We are faster than base 90s, which is Roserade. Intimidate gives us that extra survivability. Flash Fire is not really that useful here, so... we've just got enough HP, so we don't actually take any more Life Orb damage, because there was no reason to put 2 more HP in to make us take 1 more point of Life Orb, when we can just put it in Special Defense instead, which I feel like is what we're going to be taking more of. Morning Sun is just to keep us alive if we get the opportunity to go for it. They do have quite a few defensive Pokemon, so, yeah. Next up, Fizdef Buzzwole. That's going to be our answer to Urshifu. We do have a little bit of speed, because I expect them to more likely be running a defensive Sylveon with not much speed here. So we've got speed to kind of speed creep that a bit. With the Iron Head to 2 at KO, most Sylveon. Drain Punch is really nice against a lot of their team, and then Super Roost, nice physical and defensive. The defensive investment, I believe, is to make sure we don't get 2-hit KO'd by anything that isn't Banded Aerial Ace, so. For the times. Next up, Specially Defensive Florges. This is my attempt at an answer to a Rose Rage check. I know, obviously, it gets Stab Sludge Bomb, but trust me, I was running out of things I could do. It's also really nice for Lapras. It's a really, really nice switch into at least Special Lapras. If they go physical with Dragon Dance, then it could be an issue. But it's a really nice switch into Lapras. Offensive. Another one was Pyro. I did not have anything really great for Pyro, so I was like, I need this. And we got Psychic on there just to make sure we can 2-hit KO the Rose Raid as well. Which Protect. Really nice. Next up, Hydreigon. Max Life Orb Offensive Hydreigon. Again, I wanted to go for Hydreigon. And similar to Arcanine, we've got Roost on there. But then, Dragon Pulse, Fire Blast, U-Turn. I wanted Flash Cannon. I wanted too many moves here. I wanted so many things to try and hit so many Pokemon. And I just did not have the room to fit it all on. So, Dragon was kind of the best general thing I could go for. Because even if Sylveon comes in, unless it's a Scarf Sylveon, I can at least U-turn out, so. And that's at least a really interesting one that I actually had to really figure out what it did. I think I know what it does. So this, Specs Rotom, I've actually been really liking, Choice on Rotom this season. Just because it, gets a couple extra things done. I expect I'm going to be tricking the Specs away, so the offense is just kind of dumped. It's more so the defense and the speed that I was going for. The defense actually means I believe we can take, still live 2 Fire Punches from Zeraora, which is quite impressive. Speed is to outspeed Sylveon, and then the rest in special attack. Volt Switch, Leaf Storm, Trick, and Defog. Like I say, I plan on actually tricking the Specs away. If I can, get a Specs Leaf Storm off against the Mudsdale, that's going to be really nice, but yeah. It's really weird to bring Empoleon here, because it will be mainly here for Mudsdale. And, Mudsdale's going to kill it. So. Hidden Power Ground is going to, destroy it from Rose Raid. There's just a ton of things that go wrong for Empoleon here. So. Weezing was awkward. Turns out there's going to be a lot of things that are actually going to be unaffected. Zeraora often runs Boots. Corviknight, then being Defogger, is not going to... this is talking about T-Spikes here, so it kind of makes Weezing awkward. I knew I wanted to go offensive, and that's kind of why we've gone with, a lot of Life Orb offensive ones here, so. As for the match itself, they do bring Rose Raid. They don't bring Mega Lapras, which I was actually quite afraid of, so that's a relief. But they do bring Rose Raid. I'm like, well, this sucks. So I think I'm just going to leave Rotom Mow here. I think. They need Corviknight. I need Arrow. Arrow I thought was safe, yeah. I think I didn't want to lead... Yeah, I didn't want to lead Rotom in case they led Zera, and then I had to play the 50-50 mind game of whether they'd Volt Switch or not. So, I just led Arrow. It just meant I could U-turn out of here. I think I just Hard Switch. I don't know why I Hard Switch. So I think I don't want to take the Rocky Helmet damage hit, because I'm expecting it's Rocky Helmet. So, I just trick it immediately, because I'm like, cool, if they switch in Mudsdale, it doesn't matter, if they switch in Zeraora, this doesn't matter, because it's going to be more likely physical Zeraora anyway, and we trade Specs. So, it's Specs Rose Raid. I don't have an answer to Specs Rose Raid. So, I just have to let Rotom die, and that's my Defogger gone for the game. So, I bring in Hydreigon because I know I'm faster. I just go for the Fire Blast. I don't make any reads here. Not that's early into the game. And that is especially defensive Sylveon if I've ever seen it. So, I just U-turn out. And I go to Arcanine. Because I don't really know what to go to here. Because I actually don't really have a great switch into Sylveon that isn't Florges. And I don't want to lose momentum here. So, I just go for a Hyper Voice. It was pretty reasonable damage, to be honest. And I make a read here. I think I was reading... What was I trying to read? Maybe Mudsdale? I think I was trying to read Mudsdale. I don't know why, but they just protect and just scout what I'm going to do as I switch into Buzzlore like an idiot. So I just go into Florges because now I know it's the best thing I can do. They yawn me, that's fine, I do have Natural Cure. But I switch again. This time I called a Rose Raid switch. Okay, that's what I think I was going for. And again, I just go for it. I don't think, I just go. Not trying to make any reads, because if I get it wrong, especially against this Rose Raid, I am going to lose. But obviously Mudsdale is a tank and has Slack Off, which means killing this thing is going to be an absolute pain. I make the correct read here, though, as they go into Sylveon. As I get into Buzzwole, I do get the read right that they were going to switch here, but they switch into Corviknight. I think I was expecting an Urshifu switch for some reason, because that's the only reason why I'd switch here. So, unless I really want the, I think I want the Wish here. So, yeah, I don't expect them to have, well, they do have Iron Head. What am I doing this battle? I genuinely don't know. So I protect here because I have to. I get to at least scout what kind of item they're going, what move they're going for. And I didn't know if they'd stay in. I had to go for it. Like, I've got to try and get this Rose Raid down at some point. So we do take the hit. They just continue to go for Sludge Bomb. And looking at my team, they've got no reason to click anything else. Everything dies to Sludge Bomb. So, I switched to Aero because I know I can take one. I can take two, actually. That's pretty impressive, Aero. So I Mega Evolve, and I think a U-turn here just to get the momentum. I think U-turn actually killed at that point. Crit, obviously, is a thing, but yeah. I go into my main special attacker of choice. I go for Dragon Pulse because I'm like, cool, this is going to do a shoot ton of damage. They put a Toxic on me, but since I am offensive, I'm not too worried about that. And then I go for a Fire Blast and miss. There's a reason why I didn't. I'm not doing this, showing you the live recording for this match, because, oh my goodness, was I toxic. I generally, if I don't record a match, it's because I am just, like, either lazy, or I am, just, like, in a call with other people, like, while the match is going on. Those are the usual reasons why I don't actually end up recording a match. This one I was what the stale did to me, and that was be toxic as fuck. I cannot deny that. I was really salty at this match, and that is why it is post-commentary. I was really, really upset with this match and how I ended up playing out, and this is just the start. Because if you notice, they've got this Sylveon, Mudsdale, and Corviknight core. And while I try to break offense to break it, it's not going to do the job. So, they just slack off here. And I'm super upset, because that was a dead Mudsdale. I U-turn out trying to predict them to switch and save it and go into Sylveon. And that doesn't work. So I just go to Buzzwole, because I know it's the best thing I can take it. Take the Body Press, which does literally zero. And they go to Corviknight. I think I sub up here. Yeah. And I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Because I know that Mudsdale can't touch me. I had a crit Drain Punch here, which honestly is quite nice, but yeah. We go for the Brave Bird. I'm just like, I've got to see if I can force this Corviknight out. But they just roost on up. They've got no reason to switch. Which means they didn't even bring Defog. If we look at my team, I have 3 Rockers and a T-Spiker. And they just did not bring, any hazard removal. So if I brought rocks on anything, which I didn't, like, that would have helped so much. But we go kind of heal on up. They Brave Bird, do a bit of chip to my sub. I switch into Arcanine because I know I can take one hit, because I know they're going to try and keep killing my Buzzwole. And I do have the Morning Sun here, so they just go into Mudsdale. Again, they're not playing around. They've got no reason to at this point. I go to Mudsdale as they set up their own rocks, and this is where things get even worse. Because again, I'm not boots on anything here. So I can't get rid of those rocks because my Specs Rotom, who had the defog, is now gone. So they just Brave Bird again, and I've just got to try and whittle this thing down. I'm going to trade my Buzzwole here and force them to kill me. I do live, which is actually quite impressive. But I make a read here. I'm like, they're going to save this Corviknight. They've got no reason not to save this Corviknight. I know my Drain Punch kills. I know I'm faster. Nope, they stay in. And again, I was kicking myself trying to make a read, and it just didn't work. Because that was a Corviknight dead to rights, and that one wasn't even the game's fault, that one was my own. So, I bring in Arcanine. I think I just go for this, go for the Flare Blitz because I'm annoyed. So I had the Arcanine, I had the Corviknight dead to rights, and I just didn't pull the trigger. I go for the Morning Sun here. They slack off. And I'm not going to win this trade, I don't think. We do see, like, their only attacking move is Body Press. But, yeah, that's still going to be pretty rough. They go for the Body Press here. And I do know I can take another one here, so I can Wish. But it does just result in Roserade coming in as I attempt to protect to get a bit of lefties gain. So, I have to let Florges go now. So now I'm down to my 3 offensive pieces. And they've still got all the bulk in the world, including this special defensive Sylveon, who's absolutely going to take my Hydreigon hits. I think I just go for the Fire Blast here, yeah. I get a crit, and a burn. I'm like, maybe there's a chance. But realistically, no. I bring in Arcanine because it's the best thing I can do. But I don't even have any physical... I don't have any special attackers left. And we get a crit here. I get so lucky. The game tries to bail me out so hard. I need another one. We don't get it. And they're just going to be able to slack off here and just win the game 6-0. I was extremely salty at this match, and I cannot even deny it. Because, I mean, getting 6-0 sucks. It was all, like, I was already pretty upset. I was upset with the Fire Blast miss. Obviously, I was super upset with the read on the Corviknight as well. Those Pokemon were too dead. You see, I didn't even say GG. That's how upset I was. I basically just went off and just, like, I just basically just shut down my PC. I didn't even, like, do anything. So I do apologize to Banette Bandit. If they do end up seeing this. This time I'm recording this is the 5th of January, so this was, like, 3 weeks ago. So, yeah. It was a rough one. I definitely took the wrong approach to this match. What I should have done was bring Weezing. Especially defensive Weezing in this matchup would have been really nice. Especially because I think that would have decently taken on Roserade. Not well, but decently. Bringing extra Defogger would have been nice. Although I didn't expect Rotom to just go down that quickly. And notably bring some hazards. Because they were just able to switch freely. Because I just didn't bring any hazards for this match. And the sad thing is, that's the last match of the league. Week 7, was technically the last match, but I chose to forfeit it because I was 2-4 at that point. I believe the person I was playing, it didn't matter for playoffs. And I had it was like, you know, it's just December 11th. The next week was going to be in, like, the Christmas rush, for work for me. I work in retail, so getting another battle done was going to be rough for me. And I said, I messaged the mods and said, listen, can I just forfeit my last match, because it's not going to matter for me. I believe it's not going to matter for my opponent. And it is going to be busy for me. I didn't explain all that, but yeah, I just said my right to forfeit my last match, and they said, yeah, no problem. And I said, if you'll have me next for another season in the future, I'd be down. Because I do enjoy this format. Obviously, it doesn't show it here. I just got really upset. I think at this point, I was on a bit of a losing streak. I'd won week 2. I think is my only convincing win as the entire league. Because obviously we had week 3, I think week 1 I lost. Week 2 I had that convinced, week 3 I lost. Week 4 I basically had a win that I got bailed out of, because they gave me a free switch, honestly. That is the only reason why I won that game. Week 5 we had a loss, and then obviously this week we had a loss, so it's obviously something I've got to learn. The format's very different, but I'd be happy to learn in the future, but for now. At this point, I think semis is going on at the time of recording this, so. But yeah. That will do it for this video. Sorry, it is a sad end to the season, that I have to do this, but, here we are. I am, unfortunately, not a person that is, immune to the salt. I've shown some salt in some battles. I probably even have shown some salt in some of the battles this season, to be honest. This one was a little too much for even me to show off, because I was just like, there's not being upset, but I was just genuinely angry, and I had no right to be, and again, that is an apology to my opponent, so, but I do, you know, I am a competitive person, and I do like to win, so, to lose in this fashion is quite upsetting, especially when it is just against such an insanely defensive core, and I did not prep well for it. They didn't even use Zera or Urshifu. They used 4 mons to 6-0 me. So. Anyway. I guess I can give my thoughts overall, I guess, about my team. Real quick, and again, about the whole league as a whole. Again, a lot I've got to learn. Format's quite different. Playing with latency moves is a bit different. But also, yeah, there's I liked my style of team in terms of like it was able to pivot a lot. But I think I really started to notice some of the speeds for this one specifically. It was, I felt like I couldn't play as bulky of a style just because a lot of the Pokemon were a lot more powerful, so I had to kind of figure out what was right, in terms of bulk, so. Because Pokemon that would normally be not too bad in the bulky department, things like, Rotom and Empoleon, did not feel strong enough. They did not feel bulky enough to really take on some of the powerful threats that really have emerged through this format, so. But overall, I quite like my team. It's just, I think I kind of had to play it differently, maybe made some changes here and there. I think my team definitely leaned way too hard into the physical side, especially offensively, because I was pretty much just Hydreigon, Rotom as my main special attackers, and because like Empoleon was mostly defensive, Arcanine was mostly physical whenever it came. And then, you know, Florges, Weezing, and Claydol, and Porygon are all defensive. And then, you know, you got your pure physical attackers, Mega Aerodactyl, and, friggin' Floatzel and Buzzwole. So definitely, and Arcanine as well, which was mixed, but usually went physical when it went offensive anyway. It was usually more defensive. Although I think I brought offensive like twice, which I didn't think I would do. So, but yeah, I think I would do a similar style of this team again, but I think I need to have a better understanding of the format, so. But yeah, that will do it. Hopefully I can join back in the league sometime in the future, but it has been fun. Even if I don't show it in some of the matches, prepping for this has been really fun. Again, I like learning new formats, I like learning new things. But a lot of people here already know the format a lot better than I do, and I didn't even play through Radical Red, so, you know, yeah, I can't say I'm too surprised, you know, but, you know, I have one thing going for me, and that's that I did better than Rat. Rat was in the other division, and I believe they went, like, 1-6, and I went 2-7. That's all I've got going for me, so, sorry, Rat. But that will do it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.